Now for the R80ST, this is the hardware that mounts the engine in the frame. Now the front stud is longer than the rear, and the front is a 315 millimeter and the rear is 298. There's also spacers that are going to fit between the frame and the engine, and 3 of them are the same thickness, but on the front left is a thicker one. And then there's a flat washer, wave washer, and nut that secure the studs to the frame. This is the R80ST frame, and I'm just balancing it with a 2x4 and a shop towel. It's been powder coated, so it's looking pretty nice. And this is the R80ST motor, and it's a little front heavy, so I put a 2x4 under the front timing cover and another shop towel. So that's what's going to go in the frame. So I wrap the frame tubes in a packing bubble wrap to protect it when I get the engine going inside the frame. Now I estimate the engine weighs something like maybe 70 pounds or so. So when I pick it up, I'm going to bend my legs and then straighten them and then slide it into the frame. Now I brought the engine closer to the frame so I don't have to walk as far. And what I'm going to have to do is rotate it a little bit to slide it in so it won't hit the spine tube, and then rotate it to drop it back down. Now there's a tube that fits in between these 2 bushings in the engine block, and the rear stud slides through it. And then there's this hole in the frame here in this tab, so I'll have to line that up with the bushing. Now there's also a thin spacer that goes on each side, so as I push the stud through, I'll catch this and then slide the stud into the tube and then catch the other side. Now what I found worked best was to tip the frame forward and the engine forward, and then I could line up the rod and get the bushing on it and get it in the hole, and then I can just tap it to get it to slide through. So the procedure to put the front rod in is pretty much the same. Now as you can see, the left side front spacer is the wide one, and the right side is the same sized as the rear. That's the real difference on the front rod. Well, I've got the engine in the frame, and I've got both of them sitting on my motorcycle stand, so I can start working on the rest of the project. Now I used some of that packing bubble wrap like material around the frame when I strapped it down, so the straps won't damage the powder coating.